Hey gang, it's Bryan from FXBilliards. Today we're going to shift gears. We're going to talk about straight pool. I've been wanting to bring this information to you guys for a very long time. So I was waiting for the table to come in. The table is in. So we're going to talk about straight pool. I do want to bring some straight pool break patterns to you guys because this is the most frustrating part of straight pool, even for good 8-ball players and 9-ball players. It is the break shot. So I'm going to be showing you guys some very simple basic break patterns, and I'm going to then show you occasionally some more advanced break patterns. So we're going to look at 5 break shot patterns for straight pool today, and then as new episodes come out, I'll show you more and more patterns. Okay gang, these first few patterns that I give you are going to look ridiculously simple to a lot of experienced straight pool players, but those of you who are not familiar with this game, trust me, as simple, as elementary as some of these are going to look, and we're going to get into some more advanced ones too, but you need to learn these patterns because they are the genesis of every long run. This is your mission. Every long run is built on the foundation of having very nice break shots from very simple patterns. So let's take a look. I have put the balls in order for you, so you know what I'm looking to do. We're playing the 1. We're going to get on the 2 ball here and get the 2 as our key ball. We're going to come back a little bit so that we have a nice angle on the 3. So this could be a different configuration. I could be shooting here, I could be shooting over there. But in this case, we're going in the side. I really like side pockets to set me up for these shots. And by the way, you are learning 2 patterns here. Because if the 3 was not in play, you could shoot a little bit of a follow here and you have a nice break shot on the 2. So there's 2 patterns right there that will make money for you. Now from here, you decide how you want it. You could stop it here and get this tremendous break shot if you want to take that back cut. I like the idea of not reaching all the way down table. If I can bring it back into this zone here or even a little bit further, I still have a very nice break on that 3 ball. You guys can't see it from your vantage point, but there's actually lines on the table representing where the rack is going to be. So I know that my rack is going to start right there. So that's a good thing to know if you're playing this shot. Soft little draw shot. I am exactly where I want to be for this. Okay gang, here is a pattern that is almost identical to something that came up in a practice session for me a couple days ago. So I just wanted to show it to you guys. This, now obviously I've numbered them so you know exactly what I'm going to do here, but this is a pattern that might not be as obvious to you. The 2 ball is your key ball. A lot of people don't see that. Now, advanced players and guys that have experience playing, they do see it as their key ball because they know that 3 is going to be their break ball. But I had this exact situation, so I wanted to bring it up for you guys. We're going to play the 1 down here in the corner and get ourselves a nice position on the 2 with a short little draw that will allow us to get a nice break shot on the 3. So now, and this is a good habit, guys, come down here and take a look, okay? If I stop it here, I've got a hell of a back cut to make that 3 ball. So I'm going to allow myself to punch it out a little bit here so that I have a more makeable break shot. The back cuts are going to get you bigger breaks, but it's good to make the ball as well. So we punch it out. We've got a nice little angle here. And this is a very good break shot. Let's rack them up, break them up, and see how we do. I really like this break shot because not only does it put me into the rack, it's not that difficult a back cut. This is what we're looking for. I'm going to play this with a little bit of left. So we got our break. You can see how much left I had on there. I said a little bit, but that's a lot. It's still spinning. Here we have just a 2-ball pattern, but wanted to show you guys this just as, well, to juice it up a little bit, because I know you want to see some of the more exotic stuff, right? So I actually saw Alex Pagulayan shoot this in a match. We have a choice. We got the 1, which doesn't put us on the 2 very easily. We got the 2 that doesn't put us on the 1 very easily. We're kind of shooting that way on the 2, but we have a relatively straight shot on the 1. If we bring it back here even, we still don't have a nice break shot. So what we're going to do is draw all the way back to this rail here, come back up, and give ourselves the angle that we want on that 2-ball, so we'll be able to break up the rack. So the shot looks like this. We come down, we catch a decent angle here, and now we actually have a break shot. So let's rack them up, see how we do. So let's take a look at our break shot that we would not have had if we didn't go so aggressively down table. Again, let's make the shot. And we got a decent break. I know you beginners and intermediate players want to see these balls just split all over the place. Well, you don't always have that opportunity. This is a pretty decent break because a good player is going to pick at these, not only find a couple break ball possibilities, the 7 is already one, but he's going to run these balls out because there's a lot of ways to break up this cluster. Anytime somebody was working out in straight pool, they would start out their rack by putting an object ball here, racking the balls, and then using that object ball to break it. Things changed, and a lot of people started using side pocket shots as their initial shot. It works because you're coming into the rack almost head on when you do it. Keep an eye out for these shots, guys. They're very powerful when you can get position on them. Now, those of you that don't know the rules, let me explain something for you. If I play my last, well, next to last ball, and the cue ball is in the rack, I get ball in hand in the kitchen. So our 3-ball is here, obviously doesn't look like a good break ball, right? Well, it is. It's a wonderful break ball, especially if I'm down here or if I have ball in hand. So how do we get ball in hand down here? Well, our 2-ball is sitting in the rack. So if we manage to shoot a stop and leave the cue ball in the rack, or even if we don't get positioned to shoot a stop shot on the 2, we just roll the cue ball off a rail and into the rack. We get ball in hand over here, and we get to make a pretty easy, well, let's not call it easy, but a pretty dynamic break shot. So let's see how it looks. So there you are. Our cue ball is sitting right in the rack. We would get ball in hand down here. I'd most likely put it about right there, and we're going to make this shot and get into the rack. Let's break these and see how we do. So remember, we got ball in hand in the kitchen. Here's the line here. I'm going to give myself the easiest shot into the side as I can. I'm going to put a little bit of stun on this to straighten it out a bit, because if I run on this side of the rack, nothing good's going to happen. And we'll get a decent break out of this. So that's the kind of break we can work with, guys. We are a favorite to run out from here. So keep that shot in mind. Whether you're starting a rack to work out or you're playing position, there are just so many things you can do with that ball when it's sitting there. So let's look at something else. Okay, gang, there is nothing beginner or basic about this shot, but it is the best way to get on that 3 to break those balls up. Because of the angle we have, we can't really get on the 2 in a way that's going to allow us to get on the 3. So what do we do here? I know this is going to seem pretty exotic to you guys, and it is not a simple thing, but if we get on this side of the 2, now we have our cue ball moving into the zone that we want it to be in without doing anything major. So we shoot this with high right, come off a couple rails. If you have good speed on this, you can get a decent angle. And we got a little bit closer to the rail, but if we pop it off of this rail, we can get a nice break shot on the 3 ball. So it's not ideal to have a break shot that is this far away, but this is an opportunity. So let's shoot it and see how we make out. I know a lot of you do not want this long shot down table, cutting it into the tight corners here, but it's what we have. So we're going to take our time, make the 3. We don't have to whack it. I'm going to avoid putting any unnecessary English on it and just make the shot. We'll go right into the rack. Just think about making the shot. That's a pretty good break. Okay, guys? It's not always obvious what you want to do on these break shots. Be creative. I'll show you more and more every week how you can get out in different scenarios, but keep those in mind, play them back. I'm going to try to load them on the website so that you guys can download them from my free download section of nwqpool.com. And hit me in the comments, let me know what you think. And if you haven't played straight pool, tell me what you're thinking about as far as getting into the game. You might have a hard time finding somebody to play, but this is a fun game to play all by yourself. So don't forget to subscribe, hit me in the comments, give us a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you soon.